Twin Cities. You are watching Natalie, and I'm so excited to be with you tonight. As you know, each week we are really just sitting down with inspiring individuals that have a story to share. Some are influencers, some are celebs, some are people from just around the way. So tonight, relax, grab a drink. I am on my Cabernet. Okay, cheers to you. We have one of Minnesota's very own stars that are going to be joining us today, from model to actor. I'm 39, so if you are a part of my generation, you definitely know this young man. He is the star on BET Plus, that show. Yes, you know of it. It's called Bruh. And currently he has a movie streaming on Netflix, a romantic comedy, The Lovebirds. So help me give it up today for Mahdi Cocci. Hey, Mahdi.
Natalie, what's up? That was a great introduction. Back to Abercrombie days. It's a good blast from the past.
Yes, and then you were on the wall, so it was a win-win for the ladies as well. Everybody had a crush on Mahdi. You were always so beautiful. And today, you continue to shine, Mahdi. And I'm honored that you're here with us today to talk and share. You're working with Tyler Perry, okay? So it's well-deserved success. Congratulations to you on all of that. And we're talking real stories with real people. And I know you're gonna bring so much today. So let's go back to that modeling career and talk about how you were really able to break into mainstream jobs, mainstream work, and people of color, even in stores like Abercrombie and Fitch, was not very common. So take us back to those times.
Well, the interesting thing is, so I first started modeling my senior year of high school, and I was, I kind of kept it a secret from my friends and stuff like that. It was a little bit it was kind of embarrassing. So I just sort of, I got scouted by a local agent called Vision. The owners are, they're men of color, and they showed me a lot of love and kind of taught me the kind of inside of the industry. And they ended up sending some Polaroids of me out to New York, got me an agency in New York, and it ended up getting me the Abercrombie campaign, which is just all off Polaroids. It wasn't, I didn't go in person. So that was right before college started. And, they flew me out to upstate New York, and we did this week-long shoot and a bunch of other models. And it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. And I had no idea really what was happening. I was the youngest dude on the shoot. I was 17 years old. I was just here we are. And the Bruce Weber, world famous fashion photographer. And I was just kind of like a fish out of water, really. But it was fun. And it was, most people were having a good time on the shoot. And that was my intro to the game. And then on the strength of that, I got some, traction in the modeling world. But then I was full-time in college. So I had my agent hit me up hey, Calvin Klein himself wants to meet with you for this new campaign. And I was just like, oh, I have class. What do you mean? People don't turn that down. I was like, no, why don't they just, because now I'm spoiled. You know what I mean? I was why don't they just book me like they did for Abercrombie if they like me? I don't get it. I can't just go up there just for a meeting. I don't have money. You know what I mean? It's my mindset just didn't understand sort of the magnitude of what the game took, I
want to tell you, Mahdi, that's the thing that I think a lot of people admire about you. You were never thirsty coming up. I've known you. We've known each other since we were, I guess, high schoolers.
Middle school, I think, right?
Yeah, back in the day.
Eighth grade, something like that. Yeah.
You were never thirsty. Mahdi was not sweating the party. He wasn't sweating the girls. And this is why you're successful. I think that's important too, because there's a lot of pretty boys out there that might be asleep. I know it's 10:30 at night, and you're watching Natalie. But for those that are, really looking to be distracted by things that can get in the way of future success, I just want them to take note right there, because you are where you are today because of that mentality. So I love that. Calvin Klein says, come, and you say, Calvin, hold, and we will.
I begin that, but that was more foolishness and stupidity, but I appreciate the compliment. That was just my ignorance to what the game took to get into it, and I was, I think, and here's what I realized: the biggest, time is a great teacher, and I learned from that experience and others that now as I move forward and make progress in my new career as an actor, relatively new, right? It's like I don't take things for granted. Like as a model, I
Mm,
was just like, oh, I mean, again, I'm just some kid, high school kid in Minnesota who like went downtown Minneapolis, take a couple pictures, and next thing I know, I'm getting flown out to do some campaigns. So I was like, whoa, this is just kind of how it works.
yeah.
But then like the amount of time and the grinding I had to do to even make any traction in the acting game was
Mm,
different. It wasn't handed to me at all. So now it's like there's a
I'm with
different type of
you.
appreciation for
Ah,
achieving something,
I see. Yes, that is good. And we're going to talk a lot about that and the journey that it took to get to now. You have a movie on Netflix. We're going to get into that. And also starring on this amazing show on BET Plus, created, directed by the Tyler Perry. We're going to talk more about that after the break.
Hey, beautiful people, it's Major Mr. This is why I love you. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
All right, hello. I am Coach Stormy, and I help women all across the country, all around the world. And you can find me at www.coachmestormy.com. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
Well, welcome back, Twin Cities. Refresh your drinks because we have one of Minnesota's finest in the building right here on the CW. That is the Mahdi Cocci. You're like, wait, I know that face. Yes, he is starring on the hit show on BET Plus called Bruh. He's got a movie on Netflix. We're going to talk about all of those things, his journey to Hollywood, but you're living in Atlanta. And let's talk about the difference between working in LA, in Hollywood, versus working in Atlanta with people that look like you.
I guess there's an expression like sometimes you got to go away to make a comeback. And I was in LA for a long time. I lived in LA for over 10 years and I was doing some modeling and I was doing some commercials, but I wasn't able to get in, make any kind of progress in the acting game. And through that, I met a guy who's become a good friend and mentor to me. His name's Jimmy Gonzalez. And I went out there, I met with some agents and they were like, hey, we'll rep you, but we're not gonna rep you in LA. You got to move here. And I didn't really have anything holding me. So I was like, I'll do it. And then 6 months in, I crashed my first film or TV role, like happened here 6 months after I moved here in 2018. And that was a show called Dynasty. I was like, played a cop, a small part in the first season. It just never had happened for me. And you start to question, like, is somebody ever going to pay me $1 to actually do this thing? You know, you got to do it yourself. So being in Atlanta, Atlanta just it made that happen. There's a lot of to sound cliche, it's like there are a lot of opportunities here, and there's the American dream exists here, still does.
Yeah. Congratulations for being well positioned, right? You're already ready for the success. So I want to talk about the moment you learned of an opportunity to work with Tyler Perry and how you snagged that show, Bruh.
There's 4 leading males on the show. It's like a comedy about 4 friends.
Yeah.
So I got to audition for 3 of the 4 leads, and I was super excited. I'm thinking they're really trying to give me a shot on this show, trying to get on this show. And I went back to Atlanta and I got a call from my agent saying, you are pinned for the role. And they usually only pin like a couple of people. So maybe if you're pinned, it's maybe between you and 2-3 other people.
Let's talk about 2015 to 2019. So you a lot of growth, a lot of no's, right? Y'all got to get some no's if you're trying to get some yeses. How has life changed now that you are here?
One thing that I realized is in life, we seek validation for our own existence, like in different ways.
Yep.
And being in a place where I can get the parts to really absorb and work on, even if it's just for the audition, if it never goes past the audition, it's like, it's still a cool thing, and I'm kind of like, it has really changed my perspective on like where I focus my energy and what kind of things that, like, because it feels very rewarding to be making progress towards something that you set out to do for a long time and kind of spinning your wheels.
And I have to get into Issa Rae because, everybody loves her. She is co-starring, with you on this amazing new film on Netflix. It's called The Lovebirds. Talk a little bit about what it's like working with her. You're working with all of these people now, right? So we talked about 2015 to 2019. Well, what's happened is, there's Tyler Perry, there's Issa Rae. So many people that are really creating new visions for you to consider, right? Directing, there's writing, there's lots of ways that you can be a part of the industry. Talk about the film, this romantic comedy, and what we can expect watching.
Yeah, well, that was a great opportunity. Like I said, Issa Rae, she's such a sweetheart and such a talented, not just actress, but like filmmaker, individual, right? And so she getting to work with her was really great. Kumail Nanjiani, who was the co-lead in the movie with her, he was super funny, humble. Like, so both of them were just like funny, humble, good people. And getting to be a part of, and I felt like they had such nice chemistry. So being able to like be in their presence, it was like trying not to laugh was almost the hardest part, because a lot of stuff was sort of, and so it was kind of, they're working as a triumvirate almost. There was the two of them, and then the director, Mike Showalter, who's also a comedic genius. He's phenomenal. And the three of them would kind of come up with, different jokes on the spot, because they obviously had the script to go off of, but they would sort of add in certain things like as we would go. They would just like find the funny. And I realized working with Tyler Perry, he does the same thing. It's like, he's also a comedic genius. So finding the funny on the day is a little bit different, right? It's dynamic and it can change. And that was a big learning experience for me, because, as a young actor, sometimes you're like, oh, you're married to like, this is how it's written, which, you're supposed to do your job and bring that writer's story to life. But when you're dealing with comedy and such, like moments, and that's why you have to be truthful to the circumstance of the moment, because it can create a lot of magic. And that's, when you work alongside greats like Issa Rae, you'll see that that's kind of how they operate.
So good, Mahdi. Well, before you go, we're going to get into a few things. We're going to talk about how you're balancing work and life. And we have a few questions about love coming up next. I help women thrive. You can find me on Instagram at I'm Ananda Lewis, or on my new app, Elixir, available in all app stores right now. And you're watching the Connect Network TV. And welcome back, Twin Cities. You are watching Natalie, and as you know, I'm with my old friend Mahdi Cocci, and I know you all are recognizing the face. He's so successful. You can catch him on Netflix. You can catch him on BET Plus with the fantastic show, Bruh, that you're starring in. And before we go, I want to just talk about how you balance it all, Mahdi. I'm sure you're keeping in touch with all of the people. Do you getting back home a lot? What's that Minnesota itinerary looking like?
Well, I'm trying to get back sometime in October.
Okay.
I might go for Halloween. I have a nephew, my sister. So I have an older sister. She's the only one who still lives there. And
okay.
She has a 6-year-old son. So, she's married. And so I like to catch up with them as often as possible. And that's like my connection back to Minnesota, and obviously my friends that I grew up with and whatnot. But
so let's talk love.
Yeah.
Let's talk love, Mahdi. I mean, you are single by choice because you've always had the line down the street, but you were never thirsty, like we spoke on when we opened the show. And you're just so charming. You're so focused. You have such great energy. What's going on, Mahdi? What's going on?
Well, and that's kind of like back to what we talked about. I felt validation kind of came in the form of being desirable to women that I was found attractive or whatever, right? And like it's fleeting, but it's still a nice feeling. And don't get me wrong, it's still a great feeling. I like to be liked by
admired, yes,
attractive. That was the highlights that I would have in life. I could hold on to those because that's like, like I said, a feather in the cap. Like, okay, cool. Like I might not have XYZ, but still got some appeal. That's okay. I found some solace in like being single or whatnot. But I felt like I didn't want to put the cart before the horse in me.
That's smart. Right. Well, so many people do that.
To Atlanta. I lived in LA for 10 years and then I just kind of left to Atlanta. Didn't even tell that many people I was moving. So, being single kind of afforded me certain things to chase opportunities. It's not a sustainable life.
Yeah.
But it can have some benefit in the short term. Right?
Yeah, so true, Mahdi. Well, I'm so lucky that you were here with us today. And, everybody at home is so proud of you. I wanted to leave you with a little surprise. Nothing big. Just let you know that you're amazing. They see you. They love you.
Oh, no. Not my people.
What's up, Jabari Barner, William, Everett Carlson?
You know what? Like straight up for anyone who watches the show, like these are my real life bros. Like these guys here, like we all grew up together, and so it's like, Everett, good to see you guys, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'll be down there soon.
That's right. We got another. So Jev is gonna make the migration, the natural migration. Anyone from Minnesota wants to make your life better, move to Atlanta. Like that's just kind of
right? Tell us what's been going on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm working here in the Twin Cities as an attorney. I'm still in Minnesota. Just trying to work hard and make things happen.
I'm doing all right. I'm in this is the company I'm working on, actually behind me, Yin City Gold, which Mahdi could tell you more about that. But I'm in Vegas right now. Vegas is actually the center of gold of the entire US and actually, of the world really. But it's 85% of the gold industry in the US. And I'm back and forth between California and here.
Stay connected.
These are the real life brothers, it's true.
Absolutely.
So as you see, like if you have bras, it's like everybody's doing their thing. You know what I mean? Like Will, entrepreneur, Jeff, entrepreneur, and real estate mogul, Jabari, top attorney in the city, and then you got me. I'm just trying to make it, man.
Hey, you are making it.
I'm doing okay. You see like that Yin City Gold 24 karat.
All right. Well, I just wanted to connect all of your friends to let you know the Twin Cities is just thinking about you. We're proud of you. Let the people know at home where they can find you, where they can reach you, where they can follow you and keep up with all that you have going on.
Cool. Well, yeah, check us out on Tyler Perry's Bruh, BET Plus. There's 2 seasons currently available for streaming. We are going into production next week on season 3. So stories continuing. And you can catch me on Instagram at Mahdi Cocci. Next year, we're going to have a couple of shows. I'm doing a few episodes of of a show called The Terminal List, starring Chris Pratt on Amazon. And I got 4 episodes of a new Marvel project. I don't think I can speak on it yet because it hasn't been released, but it's going to be a new Marvel show coming next year, and you'll see me in 4 episodes. So yeah.
We have one of the writers for Marvel Studios, Joseph Sawyer. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he's coming up later this month on NATALIE. He's a Howard grad. So many amazing people.
Things in Marvel.
So many amazing things. Mahdi, we love you. Fellas, we love you. We're so happy that we got to see you today. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Love you guys, too. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks.
I'm Sandy Glant, and I'm back with another Slay Your Days Saturday. Here's 3 quick tips to help you implement productivity and work-life balance this weekend. Tip number 1, banish the clutter. Get rid of anything distracting at your workspace so you can focus and be more efficient. Tip number 2, use tools like calendars and planners to stay organized. Also, there's great apps that I like to use for my business, like ClickUp and Monday.com for business and team and project management. Tip number 3, set boundaries. Set boundaries to stay on track and maximize your workflow and productivity. Use these tips to help you tap into productivity, feel more accomplished, and slay your day. I'm Sandy Glant, and I'm so excited for you to slay your Saturday.
Wear it, feel it. A lifestyle brand with focus on affordability, comfort, and community. A perfect blend of culture, style, class, and professionalism. WearItFeelIt.com.
Yo, this Master P. Keep up with Natalie at the Connect Network.
Want to be a legit party planner but don't know how? Partypreneurs 101 is for you. A 10-week online course unlike any other. Get paid to do what you love and be your own boss. Learn more at thepartypreneurschool.com.
Hi, I'm Essence Atkins, and you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Essence Says. The handle is the same on both, and you are watching the Connect Network TV.
Oh, welcome back, Twin Cities. I tell you, that last interview, like, it literally warms my heart. Those fellas were such a big part of my life coming up. And although I lived in Burnsville, my bestie and I, we would fly to St. Paul as fast as possible to hang out with all of our friends. And it's just so inspiring to see them doing so many amazing things. All of the guys that you just saw. Check in with Mahdi, as he mentioned. Those are his real brothers.
Up next, switching gears, meet director and filmmaker Sherelle Swain. She is sharing the family's journey from Alabama to the Rondo community right here in St. Paul.
When people ask me where I'm from, and I tell them Minnesota, they usually respond, I didn't know there were black people in Minnesota. The other go-to response, you're the first black person I've met from Minnesota. It's 2021. Don't people know black people are everywhere? But how did black people get to Minnesota? From a young age, I remember hearing stories about my great-grandmother, as if her life were a fable. As I became older, I started to notice that much of my ancestors' history had been lost or romanticized, and there was still so much more to uncover. Through my investigations and conversations with family and friends, I learned more about my family's legacy before arriving to Minnesota. Really, their journey to St. Paul is a part of a larger voyage of the Great Migration, which many Black Americans share. It's within exploring that curiosity I traveled to Birmingham, Alabama, to more deeply connect with the land, the heritage, the history, and the culture from which our ancestors came. While I journey into my own healing, I hope to empower other African Americans to connect with the light and dark of our past. As Black people in America, our history is complicated, oftentimes not affording us the privilege to preserve it or even recall it. But through this journey, I am reminded of the words of Maya Angelou. I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. Through grounding myself in the presence of the past, I feel their endurance and strength within me, encouraging me to open doors they couldn't and to connect to their power so future generations can hold tight to a heritage and history that American society has tried to take away from us. I'm not sure all I might uncover on this journey, or if I'll ever think about home the same way again. But two things are for sure. There are Black people in Minnesota, and we are healing.
Let me guess, life has got you down, but you are ready to get on the path to creating positive and forward momentum and being empowered. A tragedy gave birth to this powerhouse entrepreneur, and now she leads women everywhere. Meet Coach G. She is trained, certified, and leading the way for women. Text The Connect Show to 832-844-6940 for your free discovery call. And join our free subscription today.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Sudano, and you can catch me on Cruel Summer on Freeform, Hulu, and Amazon worldwide. You are watching the Connect Network TV.
So that's it for this week's episode of Natalie. I appreciate y'all checking in. I love you all so much. I will catch you right back here next week with some more fire. See you then.